Welcome back. After that disappointing setback to Consadole Sapporo, we rode back in the J-League Cup and then absolutely demolished Jeff United Chiba in a statement 7-0 win. Spirits are high, but the challenge isn't letting up. Next, we face a Ugavi test against tabletop in Kyoto Sanga. It's first versus third, and it's bound to be a thriller. Let's get there if we can keep this momentum going.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 13 of Red Bull KloppBot here with Omiya Ardija on Sean Does FM. I hope you're doing well in camera today. We've got close enough to a top of the table clash early on here in the J1 season. We're away to take on Kyoto Sanga, and also we've finally got rid of Juninho, the poor bugger. We've finally sold him after the KloppBot no longer wanted him after being one of our best players last season. But if you're looking forward to this game coming up in today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up, all that good stuff on this video. But yesterday we did suffer our first loss of the new season here with the Red Squirrels. Also did before that actually beat one of the pre-season favourites and a Vispa Fukuoka. So if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. Thankfully, have bounced back off the back of that first defeat that we did suffer in this new season. First up a game in the J-League Cup, a good chance for us here to give our first teamers a little bit of a rest and play some of our rotation players. It was against a team from down in J3. To be fair, the scoreline probably a bit closer than we would have liked, but hopefully still going to be able to get over the top of these guys in the second leg away from home off the back of a 2-1 win. In the first leg, one of our youth intake players from last season, and Murano, opened the scoring in Ahashi. He chipped in about halfway through the first half, did concede just after halftime, but thankfully that was all they replied with during the course of that second half. So we hold on there for a 2-1 win. As I said, ideally would have kept that 2-2-0, but hopefully we'll still be okay in the second leg of that cup first round tie, so we can make our way through the second round, hopefully get on a bit of a cup run yet again. Hopefully the season can actually pick up that League Cup after being done in the semis last season by Consadole Sapporo, who of course beat us in that game in yesterday's episode. And then we took on a team who got promoted via the promotion playoff last season in JF United Chiba and absolutely wiped the floor with them here with a 7-0 win. Helped out early with an own goal to Galvan, but then Kanashida, he was back in goal scoring touch there. Yukutomo, he got 2 goals. He actually started this game because Yamada was on a little bit of a heavy workload. He did really well, and also late goals there to Anholori Shimoda and Yokoyama, who came on and played a little bit of central attacking midfield. So a really good performance from us there. Absolutely wiping the floor there with JF United Chiba. So it does mean we are still up there in terms of the J1 table in third place behind the unbeaten Kyoto Sanga, who we are about to play. Thankfully, our local rivals, the Urawa Red Diamonds, they've just lost their first game of the season the day before. We were about to play this game here against top of the table. In fact, it wasn't the day before. It must have been a couple of days ago. In fact, I tell a lie, maybe it was the match week prior because they wiped the floor there with Soleizo Osaka, and indeed, it was last week. They suffered defeat to the defending champions in Kawasaki Frontale, so a win here should see us actually go top of the table, considering our goal differential is the healthiest off the back of that big win over JEF United Chiba. So a good chance for us here to go back on top of the J1, albeit before then, as I said, done a little bit more transfer business. To be fair, this is probably the last of it that we're going to do in relation to the first team, are loading out some players from our reserves just to let them develop over the course of the remainder of the season. Also let go of Gustavinho and Macarel, going down to some clubs in J3. But Juninho has finally left us, not for the fee I was hoping to get for him at the start of the transfer window. I was hoping we could get about 400k for him. In the end, it's had to go down to 235k, but still, for a player that we signed for only £20,000, that's not too bad. He's back down in J2 now with Bentford Kofus. Definitely will help those guys in central attacking / central midfield. As I said, he was actually really good for us last season, but the KloppBot did feel like that was an area we could improve in because apparently he was injury prone. Do just think he got injured at the wrong time last season, and the KloppBot went a little bit Vince McMahon and just decided to get rid of him off the back of that. But 29 appearances, 9 goals, 4 player of the matches. Very good average rating, but for some reason did fall out of favour with the KloppBot. But still, that's a good bit of business, and to be fair, we did improve with Lee Hyun-ju coming in from Bayern Munich. So I think that should round up now all our transfer business. Does mean our overall net spend for this season is around £1.3 million. So still quite a bit of money left to spend if we need to halfway through the season. But to be fair, we'd need to sell some players because already we've taken up all our registration spots unless we find a really good promising foreign youngster that we can throw in under 21 that doesn't need to be registered. But big clash coming up in today's episode does look quite clearly like the hardest one we've got here in the month of March, and we take on Kyoto Sanga, so far the only unbeaten team in the J1, 2.5-star reputation club, and their form obviously has been pretty good, including a 6-2 win over JF United Chiba. So not quite as good as what we managed, but a few games before that, they actually beat Consadole Sapporo, so definitely deserve to be top of the table here. The preseason prediction actually was nice, to be fair, doing a lot better than FM did expect them to. Their captain is Osama Henry Iowa, who is a left back come centre back. Does look pretty decent there with 4.5 stars current ability and potential, albeit is currently under bid, and that is from, if we hover over it long enough, Alberix Nagata's an interesting team there who are after their captain, probably a team who are a bit further down on the table. Lele is a Brazilian who is their vice captain, left winger, come striker, and he does look quite handy with that 4.5-star current ability and potential as well. 19 goals and 37 appearances since joining from Fluminense, but their key player is a local, Taichi Hara, who does go up front, and he has 5-star current ability and potential. To be fair, apart from jumping reach, not too many yellow attributes. Hopefully, though, we can keep him quiet in the air, especially with that 15 hitting. Does look like he'll be a big aerial threat in this game, but 29 goals and 56 appearances. Definitely someone we need to keep an eye out for. Is currently wanted by Shanghai Port over in China. Hopefully that distracts him for this game that we are about to play. But in terms of injuries going into this game in today's episode, just one, and it is one of our new first choice additions here at the Red Squirrels. It's Mitsuku Saito, a tight calf. We could play him if we really needed to. I don't think we're going to risk him though this early in the season. You will notice as well, I've got an updated base pack now to some of the players. They do look a little bit different to how they looked when you first saw them here at the Red Squirrels, but a good player he's been for us so far this season. But to be fair, Ohashi did do a good job a couple of games ago in the first leg of that League Cup, so hopefully he can step up and do a decent job, and still got players like Shimoda that we can bring off the bench. Hopefully won't miss Saito too much in this big top of the table clash. Hopefully we can go back on top of the J1, but it's our first time going to Kyoto, so before this clash, it's time for the KloppBot's hotspots. And first up, we have to find a hotel, seeing it's about a 6-hour trip from Saitama to Kyoto. So the KloppBot here has recommended the Hotel Grand Via Kyoto. This upscale hotel is conveniently located at Kyoto Station, giving us easy access to transportation and major city attractions. Features modern amenities, spacious rooms, and excellent dining options, making it an ideal base for a travelling football team, perfect for both convenience and comfort. Let's go check out the website, and it does look pretty good there. You can see some of the food options. That does look quite nice, a little bit there of some in-house made sushi and whatnot. Going forward, there's a bit more of a dining room. Can we flick through these quicker? I think we have to wait here for the hotel website. Time for a bit of ad-libbing. It does look like quite a nice view there from outside of that restaurant. Will it finally click over onto a new photo? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately, so we'll just make our way down here, and no doubt once we go all the way back up it will change it again. But you can see some of the other photos of what it looks like there inside of the hotel. I think I saw there it's got a gym. In fact, no, it's just talking about what's nearby. There's a station building complex, which is department stores, museum, musical theatres, shopping malls, all sorts of stuff. I'm just checking. There are fitness facilities as well as restaurants and bars, so it does look quite nice here for a football team. So that's where the KloppBot has recommended. As you saw before, we've got some sushi style stuff that we can get a hold of, as well as a bento box, some beefsteaks, some grilled chicken, and even a kids platter if some of the players have brought their families. This is a place we're going to be staying over here in Kyoto. Now the pictures, they roll through again. But yeah, it does look pretty tidy, a decent view out of that room anyway. That was quite nice. There's a bit of a manager's suite, I think, but there's the hotel that we're staying at here in Kyoto. Next up, it's time for the activities that the KloppBot has recommended. And first up, we're going to have a traditional tea ceremony experience, which, to be fair, probably a bit more suitable than the beer tasting we did a couple of days ago, because the players, they can actually do this one. But we're going to be doing a tea ceremony, a practice that fosters mindfulness and respect, qualities beneficial both on and off the field. The shared cultural activity can enhance team cohesion and provide a tranquil respite from the competitive environment. We're actually handling that quite well at the moment though, KloppBot, so really don't know if we need to break from that just yet. But here's a website which shows what's going on here with the tea ceremony. You can see you could do some team bonding in a situation like that, having a lovely cup of tea, made beer here over in Japan. It lasts 45 minutes, doesn't look like it costs too much, and you've got a kimono that you have to wear as well. It does look like it could be quite an interesting time, this one. The tea ceremony, knees on the floor, as per tradition. Hopefully the fellas don't do any injuries while they're down on their knees, but no doubt this will be quite a nice experience, and they can actually get stuck into this one, as I said, unlike the beer tasting that we did a little while ago. So first up, we are doing a tea ceremony. To be fair, we're probably down there doing a private one because a big old football team. Next up though, the KloppBot, he suggested a samurai swordsmanship workshop. Now to be fair, this sounds pretty badass. Engage in a hands-on samurai swordsmanship class where the team can learn basic techniques and understand the discipline and focus inherent in this martial art. This activity not only offers a unique cultural insight, but also promotes teamwork and concentration. Yeah, we're not doing that badly currently, KloppBot, but I understand what you're trying to say here, relating it to football maybe a little bit too much, but here it is, same website as we saw earlier, and to be fair, yeah, that looks pretty darn cool. Hopefully no injuries from this either. To be fair, this does look like the sort of activity where if there's a bit of in-house fighting, this could really go badly with swords. So hopefully that doesn't happen and we're still going to be okay off the back of this game if there's an injury. Maybe it happened pre-game and not actually during the game itself, but apparently going to be learning here some traditional movements with the sword after getting put in the traditional clothes, and also we can do a samurai armor trial, which does look very interesting. The players, they can take their photos and whatnot. The foreigners, no doubt, they will love that. So a bit of some swordsmanship work there for the second activity that the KloppBot has set up. And to round things off, we are going to the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove and Monkey Park visit, where we can explore the serene Arashiyama Bamboo Grove, followed by a visit to the nearby Monkey Park Iwatayama. The hike to the park provides a physical activity that encourages team bonding, and interacting with the monkeys offers a fun and memorable experience. Not too sure if we want too much physical activity before a game. Hopefully it won't be too much, but here's what's on the website. That's an interesting photo because it's a cartoon, but there you can see the monkeys going down further. They're even doing some sightseeing themselves. To be fair, it does look like quite a decent view there of the city of Kyoto in the background. And going down one more, if we can, another photo of a little baby monkey. So we'll just make our way down a bit further. I've got an Instagram. I can't really tell what's on this website. I don't do Japanese, at least not in real life. My manager's probably mastered it by now, having been over there for over a year, but it does look quite interesting, the monkey park, and it did look like there were some quite decent views there of Kyoto. So those are three things that the KloppBot set up for us here before we take on Kyoto Sanga in this top of the table clash. And here are the team sheets for this top of the table clash. In today's episode, first up, the home team Kyoto Sanga, 5 at the back, 2 defensive midfielders, central attacking midfielder, and 2 strikers. So another 5 at the back system, which sometimes we can struggle against. There's Ohashi for us coming in for the injured Saito, but apart from that, it's our best 11 that's been doing a pretty good job for us so far this season, apart from against Consadole Sapporo, as tends to be the case here with the Red Squirrels. But hopefully we can bounce back, beat these guys, and go back on top of the table. And an early throw-in for us here, and it's inside the final third as well. Kanai here takes his time before picking out Anhaloti, gets that ball back. Now Dimas to Ohashi, Hyunju there with a shot which I think took a bit of a deflection. It comes off the woodwork, so a good chance there for our South Korean central attacking midfielder. Unfortunately, that one though doesn't quite find its way to the back of the net. Still 0-0. And going forward about 10 minutes off there, their opening chance is a goal kick here to the opposition. They pumped that one deep. We misjudged it there. I think that would have been through Ohashi, but thankfully tidied up there. I think that was through Matsumoto. We pump it deep and actually somehow get this ball back out to Kanari there, down our left-hand side, looking for Anholi. They clear it, but not too well. Still have the ball here inside of the final third. Ohashi, and a ton of space there for some reason. Opted for the pass, disrupted, goes back out there to Figueiredo. Really, we don't want taking that chance. He blasts it high and wide, but early, we are on the front foot. Unfortunately, still scoreless. And just about to sneak our way here into the last couple of minutes before half-time, and there's a goal kick here in our favour, and make our way out for the back, playing this down our right-hand side to Figueiredo. He cuts and field that pass a little bit off the mark, but thankfully Kinoshita, he tracks back and tidies things up, plays that one back there to Kanade before going back to Core, who so far, apart from that one game in yesterday's episode, has been doing a pretty good job for us there at ball playing defender. Now we get it forward to Kanashida, and holy Sheeta, he's on the score sheet again, that one just inside of that far post. We'll see if this stands, because it did beat Oda, and thankfully he was onside. He did look pretty safely on there. Good work tracking back earlier in this move, because otherwise there was a pass there that was well off the mark. Hyunju, he finds him, and that is a pretty good finish. Any further to the left in that one is going wide, but thankfully he stayed well onside. Not too sure why we had to check that one, but we do take a 1-0 lead just before halftime. Just looking out there, every player of ours is on a decent rating, but we've been on the front foot, and thankfully get some reward for that just before halftime. Hopefully can kick away in the second half and pick up a big win to see us go back on top of the table as we're holding a 1-0 lead. And we don't have to wait too long here for our first goal of the second half, about 5 minutes in, and there's a goal kick there to Kyoto Sanga. Thankfully, just flicked it on there to Matsumoto. We can try and make our way here out from back unholy. He'll pick out Hyunju, plays that one out there to Yamada, goes back to Matsumoto. Now Ohashi will find Yamada. Good bit of work there to find Figueiredo and bring a player in. Will be a good tackle, that one from Asado. I thought there we might get that ball back in a bit of a good spot there potentially for Holy Sheeta, but Holy Sheeta, that's a shocking tackle on Hyunju. That's a straight red card there, and really that should let us hammer the advantage home in this one before I can even praise off the back of that, because this should give us a massive chance now at 3 points in this game. And going back top of the table, there is a clearance there from Kyoto Sanga, but now with an extra player, which I imagine is a midfield. We get on the attack and we make the most of it. Good work there from Dimas, almost tripped over Anhaloti, but he finds Holy Sheeta, who puts himself on a hat-trick to make it 2-0, and really, this now should be pretty routine work for us with a 2-0 lead against Team Ohashi here, making his way forward. As I said, did think there that two players were going for that same ball, but in the end, Dimas wins the race and finds Kanashida in a ton of space. So off the back of that, I think here we can make some subs of some players a bit tired and not doing too well. Yamada can come off for Yukitomo, who did quite well in that 7-0 win over JF United Chiba. Also Kabayaba for Anhaloti on a deep yellow card, and the same with Shimoda coming on for Dimas, but looking good now, 2-0 in front against 10 men. And just about to sneak our way here into the last 20 minutes of this game, still with our 2-0 lead, and against the 10 men here in the second half of Kyoto Sanga. They pumped that one deep, but we are back on the attack. Yukitomo, he gets in behind, was very good for us in that JF United Chiba game, as you saw through the scoreline, but that time tries to put that one away. Bottom left corner just drags it wide. A few minutes later, though, they try and make their way out from that there. Kyoto Sanga are thrown inside of the final third. We do some good stuff there, but unfortunately, Kabayama this time can't quite put that one on target. But now, about to make our way the last 15 minutes of this game, so probably good time for us here to make our last couple of subs so these players can get ratings off of the bench. We'll take off Kanade on a bit of a deep yellow heart there for Suzuki. And apart from that, I think that maybe we take off someone like Hyunju potentially, or Yokoyama, seeing as they tried to almost kill him earlier with that tackle from behind. So Yokoyama, he can do a job in central attacking midfield late. 2-0 in front with 15 minutes left. Now we see the corner off back of those subs going far post. Ohashi with almost an open net puts that one onto the post. Big chance for us there to make it 3-0, but still we hold a 2-0 lead and looking pretty safe, albeit getting lots of highlights late here in this game. And the goal kick there to the home team, which we win back pretty safely. Kabayama here makes his way down the left-hand side, but unfortunately with a loose touch, and Kyoto Sanga can try and make their way out from the back. And really for the first time that we've seen so far in the second half, are keeping hold of the ball quite nicely until the clearance from their goalkeeper straight to Ohashi. That ball thankfully does find Figueiredo. We play it forward to Yokoyama, who puts it away. Yukitomo gets an assist off of the bench. That makes it 3-0 and really puts the nail in their coffin. That will see us go back on top of the J1. So another strong start to a season here with the Red Squirrels, albeit this game have been helped out quite a bit with that early red card in the second half. To be fair, we were even on top of these guys in the first half as well. We'll just see what happens last 10 minutes of this game. A free kick here, looking far post. That one takes the deflection. Kyoto Sanga, they'll keep it in. Let's see if they try and do something here down their left-hand side. Probably took a little bit too long, and they eventually get into our half, but Figueiredo, some good defensive work there, and we can get back on the attack. So this is looking like it could be a really bad day at the office here for Kyoto Sanga if we do finish this game off strongly with that man advantage. Suzuki plays that one in there for Ohashi back out to Figueiredo. Bit of a challenge on him, but nothing given. We keep the ball here inside the final third. Figueiredo back to Yokoyama, I think that was, but that time the goalkeeper comes up with a decent save. We'll see what we can do here from this set piece. Suzuki puts it near post, and Matsumoto gets ahead on the end of that one. They just scramble it away there to Kyoto Sanga, but fair to say, we are all over the home team here, as you'd expect with that one-man advantage. Our XG, we're actually slightly underperforming it, so to be fair, we probably could be winning this game by a little bit more, but to be fair, in a top-of-the-table clash, we'll take a 3-0 win, obviously helped out massively by that red card, but all our players who came on today did a pretty good job, apart from Yamada, I think the only player who actually took off because of his rating, but really, that game did change off back of the red card. Kaneshita with a double, and then Yokoyama off the bench made sure that we pick up all 3 points with a 3-0 win. So we're well and truly back on track there in the J1 with a 3-0 win over the previously undefeated Kyoto Sanga there, largely thanks to a double there to Shinizuki Kaneshita, who has definitely been a good addition up front for us. Here's the former Cerezo Osaka man. He's now picked up 5 goals in 6 games, and really has made that starting spot his own, thankfully, considering we did spend a fair chunk of money on him to come in as a first choice striker so far, is making that fee seem very much worthwhile as we go back on top of the J1. Just a quick look at what the table does look like now. We're on top because of goal differential over our rivals, the Red Diamonds, and Kyoto Sanga. They dropped from first to third off the back of their first loss of the season. Also worth noting, Consadole Sapporo have now jumped up that table quite a bit off the back of that win over us, and a couple more off the back of that game, so maybe that result not quite as bad as it does seem, but still they look a little bit of a bogey team for us. But we're on top of the table after 6 games played, and to be fair, we have taken on some pretty decent teams so far. Hopefully can continue this form throughout the remainder of the season, and at the very least try and get some continental football for the 3rd season here with the Red Squirrels. But if you enjoyed today's episode, that win there in a top of the table clash, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. As I said, rest of March, apart from the second leg of that League Cup game, on paper, looks like it should be okay. Shimizu West Pulse, we beat last year in the League Cup quarter, so hopefully we can take care of those guys, especially all the way down in 19th. Got the second leg of that J-League Cup tie against the J3 team, so hopefully our rotation players can finish off the job there. Shonan Belmere are down in 11th. They're a half-decent team, but at home, that's another game I'd hope we'll be winning on our form so far this season. Tokyo Verdy got promoted alongside us. We were better than them last season. Hopefully that continues this year. We might come back in April to round off this week and take on the 2Ks. Kashiwa Reysol, they're currently in 10th, but preseason prediction-wise, we're expected to be 5th, so they could be an interesting team to take on before we take on the defending champions away from home and Kawasaki Frontale, who are inside of the top 4 currently. So I think those are 2 good games we can come back for in tomorrow's episode, Kawasaki as well as Kashiwa Reysol. So until then, thank you very much for watching, keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.